Everyone, my name is Renu, and currently I'm working on a Indian coal mine dataset. And today in this video, I'm going to share how we perform the descriptive or statistical analysis on the data. So here's my data on the Indian coal mines, and as you can see that I have mostly the qualitative data and only just one variable, one column. I have a quantitative, which is the coal and lignite production. So when it comes to perform the analysis, the statistical analysis, it is easier to perform it on the numerical data or quantitative data because it has numbers and we can easily um, calculate the mean, median, and mode, and the range or sum or the count. But when it comes to the qualitative data, so there are like different ways to do that. And one of the ways to use a pivot table, which I'm going to use, and I'm going to share that how we perform statistical analysis on the numerical and also on the qualitative data. So here first I'm gonna use the data analysis for my numerical data. So how we do it is click on the data up in the ribbon and it will show you the data analysis on the right side. Click on that and then from these options we have to choose the descriptive statistics here and click OK. It asks for the input range, which is my coal and lignite production. So I'm gonna select the range for that and then check on the labels in the first row. And if I want my values in the same sheet, I have to click on the output range and then select the cell. But instead that I'm going to do that work in a new worksheet and then click on the summary statistics. Click OK and it will pop up the new sheet with all the measures here. So this is the my data, the coal and lignite production data. It says from 2019 to 2020, the mean 1.68 metric tons. So this is on an average. They are producing coal and lignite. The mines are producing, and it has a highly skewed. So it means extreme. It has extreme variability in the data, and as you can see here, the maximum value is 45, which means that there are very few of the producers which are making a high production, and also the kurtosis value is high. So the kurtosis value being high here suggests us that there are many outliers in this data, the coal and lignite production, which is also necessary for my analysis. And so this is how we perform the statistical or descriptive analysis on the numerical data. And we perform the analysis on our qualitative data. And I'm going to use a pivot table here. And how I'm going to do that is first we have to select the data, all the data. And then up in the ribbon, there's an option insert. And then there's on the left side, there's a pivot table. So click on the pivot table. Again, we can use the same sheet, the existing worksheet or the new worksheet. I'm going to use a new worksheet to do my analysis. This is how it looks like. On the right side, this area here, we have all the variables in here. And this is my filter columns and the rows and the values. So first I have to like select like I have to so first I have to check it. So now first what I want is to do here is I want to check that there are like 450 in different states. So I want to check that each state occurs how many times in that data. So how I'm gonna do that is to click on that state and duty name, drag it down here to the rows. Again, same thing, drag it to the values, and it will take automatically the count. So we can see that Assam is occurs like for 3 times. in my data set, which means exactly Assam has three mines in whole, like out of 459, three mines are on from that particular state. Also, Jharkhand, as we can see, the Jharkhand, it is a 114. So this state has the highest mines because it occurs like 114 times in the data. If I need to check the relative frequency, how much percentages is taking from the total. So what I'm gonna do is to click here, and then there's up down like value field settings, and then click on the show value wells, and here there's a now click on the drop down and shows the percent of the grand total, which is here. The grand total is 459. Click on OK, and it will give me the relative frequency. As you can see, the Jharkhand again, the 24.84%, which is the highest from the total. So it has the highest mines. And what I'm gonna do is now I'm going to see, I have to check that which state is producing more, the highest, or the on average, how much is producing the coal and lignite. So what I'm gonna do is to click on this coal and lignite production and drag down it to the values. It will give me the sum of coal and lignite production by default. So a sum in total, the sum, this is the sum, the total coal and lignite production state-wise. So this is 0.52. Chhattisgarh is producing 157. I can change it to the average, the minimum, and the maximum values too. So click on this value field settings. Here we have this count, average, maximum, minimum values, and standard deviation, variance. Then click on average, click OK. So this is the average. On an average, Jharkhand is producing 1.17 metric ton. On the other hand, Madhya Pradesh is producing 1.72 on an average. So this is how we do the statistical analysis on our qualitative data. This is the one way. And again, if I want to add one more column, like with a maximum and a minimum value, like the whatever, I'll show you, just click and drag it here. Mm, the sum, click on value field setting, maximum. So it will give me the maximum of the coal and lignite production in the each state. So this is one of the analysis, the qualitative on the qualitative variable. So this is according to the state, that how many states, how many mines are there, and each state how many times it occurs in the data, and how much it on an average, or the maximum the coal and lignite production, or the average of the coal and lignite production is there in each state. And second, I'm gonna do by using the variable government owned and the private owned. So how much, like the government or the private or the semi-government mm, mines are producing the coal. So again, the same thing, select all the data, click on insert, and then pivot table, create a new worksheet. And what I'm going to do here to just select the coal and lignite and drag it to the rows. And again, coal and lignite, and drag it to the values, which will give me the count. And I have to choose also the government and private owned. So I'm going to drag it down to the government and private owned. This is my coal and this is my lignite if I want to check it like in the different. So the government owned mines, which are producing coal, are 363, and their private owned are 16, and semi-government are 61. Exactly like the lignite also. There, like government are only three, private are two, and the semi-government are 14. Now I'm going to check that how much on an average the government mines or the private owned mines are producing. So click on the coal and lignite production, drag it down to the values. It will give me automatically first the sum. So this is the all the government owned mines which are producing coal. So this is the value 618 met. And if I go with the average, I have to check the average on an average how much they're producing. So click on the coal and lignite production and can drag it down to the values and click on the value field settings, click on the average and yes. So here's the catch that the government owned mines, all the government owned mines are producing 618 and when it comes to on an average, so the private owned mines are producing more coal as compared to government owned mines. So there is a catch in here that what's going on with the private mines, what they are doing extra. How can, like, I mean, just if we can see, there are only 16 private owned mine and they're producing like on an average 1.95, which is higher than the government owned mine. And so we can add like the minimum and the maximum value, same like that, but dragging the coal mine production. And again, like click on this value field setting. We have like more option for maximum, minimum, standard deviation, and variance. So we can just add the columns like that with the my standard deviation or like minimum values. So it will give me the minimum of code. So this is how we do the descriptive statistics on the qualitative data. And also we can sort this data. We have multiple options like in here. If I click on this, just right click on this, we can do the sorting as well. And if I want to use the filter, if anything, I mean, if my data where I'm using a filter, I can drag it down to the filter and then just choose my data. And this is how I'm actually doing the descriptive statistics on my this qualitative data. And thank you for listening. And I hope this helps you understand how we use like or how we perform the analysis on the qualitative data. Thank you so much.